In 1975, the Johnson family moved into a charming old farmhouse in rural Pennsylvania. They were looking for a fresh start away from the city, and the price was surprisingly affordable. From the moment they moved in, strange occurrences began to plague their new home. At first, it was small things: footsteps in the attic, objects going missing and reappearing in odd places, cold drafts in rooms with no windows open. The family brushed it off as their imagination or the quirks of an old house. One night, as Mrs. Johnson was tucking in her youngest daughter, Emily, the little girl asked, "Mommy, who is the lady in my room at night?" Startled, Mrs. Johnson asked her to explain. Emily described a woman in a long, old-fashioned dress who would sit at the foot of her bed and hum a lullaby. Over the next few weeks, the sightings and sounds grew more intense. The family would hear the distinct sound of a woman crying late at night, and cold spots in the house became more frequent and more severe. Mr. Johnson, a skeptic by nature, decided to investigate. One night, armed with a flashlight and a tape recorder, Mr. Johnson ventured into the attic. As he scanned the dark, dusty space, the temperature suddenly dropped, and he heard the soft humming of a lullaby. The flashlight flickered and then went out completely. The tape recorder continued to roll, capturing the eerie silence that followed. Suddenly, the humming grew louder, almost deafening, and Mr. Johnson felt a cold hand on his shoulder. He spun around, but there was no one there. Panicked, he scrambled down the attic stairs and out of the house, vowing never to go back up there again. The family decided to consult a local historian, who revealed that the house once belonged to a woman named Margaret, who lost her infant daughter to illness. Devastated by grief, Margaret took her own life in the attic, and her restless spirit was said to haunt the farmhouse. Determined to help the spirit find peace, the Johnsons held a small ceremony in the attic, placing flowers and a toy doll as a tribute to Margaret and her daughter. For a while, the disturbances seemed to cease. Months later, the family was packing up to move out, unable to shake the feeling of unease that still lingered. As they loaded the last of their belongings into the car, Emily turned to her mother and said, "Mommy, the lady says thank you. She and her baby are happy now." Mrs. Johnson, feeling a chill run down her spine, looked at her daughter in disbelief. "How do you know that, sweetheart?" Emily simply smiled and pointed to the attic window, where a faint figure of a woman holding a child could be seen, waving goodbye. Thank you for watching The Haunted Farmhouse, A Chilling Tale. We hope you enjoyed the story. Stay tuned for more chilling tales. Pause 2S.